Hey, how's it going, Old School Runescape, and welcome back to another weekly recap. Kicking things off with a look at the month ahead, namely mentioning our plans to offer the Inferno and Fossil Island later this year. In addition, another reminder of our next Deadman tournament being on Saturday the 25th of March starting at 7 PM GMT, of course all being broadcasted live from our Twitch channel twitch.tv/runescape. And speaking of Deadman, we ran a live beta on Thursday allowing players to run through the final hour to develop their strategize and minimize any confusion with how things will work. And after receiving such positive feedback, we're confident this final hour will go smoothly, making for an incredible tournament. Moving on to this week's updates, and several quality of life updates coming to the Wilderness and PvP, including an additional Wine of Zamorak spawn in the Western Chaos Altar and 35 Wilderness, improved Wilderness kill-death ratio tracking, allowing players to track their KD anywhere in the Wilderness rather than just beyond 10 wild, improvements to the Bounty Hunter overlay allowing players to view which tier emblem their opponent is carrying, as well as whether or not they're skulled, and Tier 1 emblems can now be sold on the Grand Exchange. And lastly, we've improved the Teleblock spell to now show players how long it'll be before you can teleport. Moving on to this week's Q&A. Being our first from our newly renovated studio, we discussed the possible redesign of Neve's Cave, the Inferno, and the Elysian Spirit Shield among many other topics. And finally, we have this week's Player Spotlight feature, or rather JMod Spotlight feature, as we take a look at some of the recent tweets from Mod Lottie, one of our game analysts, offering some rather interesting data such as the top 10 highest active boss pet dry streaks, the most completed Slayer tasks this month, and even the top 5 most read books in the past 2 weeks. If this interests you or you have any data related questions, be sure to send Mod Lottie a tweet. So that about sums up this week in Old School RuneScape. Don't forget to subscribe to keep up to date with the game, and aside from that, we'll thank you for watching and we'll catch you next time.